So with that,
Because I'm hungry.
Dave Fieldman.
Start reporting.
Ricardo, Mayor Tully. We're talking about an update to the 2017 to 2019 long-range plan. We have been doing so for the last couple of months. In our updates, we identify key issues which may affect not only the upcoming FY19 budget, but which may also affect our short to long-term future. In addition to that, with these updates, we provide progress reports and have discussions on our priority action items. You may remember in May, we talked about general fund issues. Got direction on those. And then last month, we confirmed our priority action item, work plan for the balance of this council's term. Tonight, we're talking about other post-employment benefits, OPEB. This is a high priority action item for this council to create a plan to address OPEB. First of all, let's start off with what the heck is OPEB? Other post-employment benefits. What we're talking about here are the health care benefits that the village provides to our retirees. The state requires that all municipalities make available to their retirees access to these health benefits. These health benefits do not include dental or vision. The issue is that the cost to municipalities of providing these benefits exceeds the amount paid by these retirees into the village fund in terms of health premiums. So it costs more than we receive back in revenues in the form of premiums. The issue that was identified in the long-range plan that we're addressing with this action item is that the actuaries have calculated our village's unfunded liability, the amount, the difference between revenues and expenses. It's sitting at $12.3 million. That's down from over $17 million just a couple of years ago. This unfunded liability of $12 million will appear starting on our FY18 financial reports or audit. This is under new Government Accounting Standards Board's rules. It will appear on all municipalities' FY18 financial reports.
I apologize for interrupting, but I think that point bears repeating, is that the situation you're describing is not one that has come to pass or it currently exists because of something that we have or haven't been doing improperly. There's been changes in requirements and regulations and reporting.
That's correct. We did not change any operations. Other municipalities did not change operations. The accounting rules changed, and hence this is what is the product. So this is an issue for all municipalities in different amounts. So we are not alone in this issue. In fact, ours is relatively low when you look around the landscape. So these numbers will appear not only on our FY18 financial reports, but on all municipality financial reports. Failing to address this issue or have a plan over the long term to address this issue may negatively impact our village's bond rating, which is AAA, the highest it can be right now, and therefore would have the effect potentially of increasing the cost of any of our infrastructure projects for which we use debt instruments to fund. So that is the issue in a nutshell. Staff has been at work on this issue of creating a plan for the past several months, and really the discussion's been going on for a couple of years. We have a detailed report in the council agenda items, but here's a quick summary of the plan. Step one, create an OPEB trust fund by the end of 2019. What is an OPEB trust fund? Well, it operates much like our public safety pension funds. When we create this trust fund, it requires the creation and council approval of 3 key documents that help us operate the trust fund: a trust document, a funding policy, and an investment policy. All 3 of these key items will be presented for council review and approval sometime before December 2019, probably the middle of 2019. All council members here are familiar with these items. We have these same items for our 2 public safety pension funds. Step 2, reduce this unfunded liability using 3 steps. So how are we going to go about reducing our unfunded liability? First, we're going to make annual contributions, again, similar to public safety pension funds. The plan calls for us to make $300,000 annual contributions in both the current year, 2018, which the council has already approved that budgeted amount, the 18 budget, and then again in the upcoming year, 2019. This is a good start into addressing this issue, but it is not the actuarially determined contribution. That number stands right now at somewhere around $800,000. And our draft plan calls for us to start making the actuarially determined contributions in 2020 and then in the years beyond that. Step 2 of the plan. Use investment returns from this trust fund to reduce the village's annual contribution. So the idea is simple. When we put the money into this fund, we invest the money according to our investment policy. We try to earn returns. To the extent that we earn returns, that's money that we don't have to put in the next year. So the idea is put your money to work. Step 3, provide financial incentives to our own retirees to participate in another plan. So if the issue is that it's costing us more than we're receiving in revenue in terms of premiums, there are some plans which are available to some of our retirees which they could participate in. The idea here is we would identify a financial incentive that is a win-win. Win for the village in that the financial incentive we're providing to them is less than the cost of the OPEB liability. A win for our retiree because for those who want to choose another plan, they can actually get the same or better retirement benefits, health benefits at a lower cost. But we won't just hand them a check and hope they find these services or other plans. We will actively work with them to provide guidance and assistance to these retirees who may choose to use this financial incentive to help them get the benefits that work for them. Had a long conversation with Commissioner Waldak about this process. That's the win-win we're looking for financially on the village's side and for our own former co-workers, our retirees. This should seem very similar to the way we approach public safety pensions. That's because the fundamental aspects of this are the same. We believe the result of this plan is simple. It should result in a lower overall cost to the village for the provision of these required health benefits. That's a very brief overview on what can be a very complicated topic. If we get any complicated questions, Judy's here to answer those. The easy ones, you can throw at me right there.
Thank you, Mr. Billman. Questions, comments from Commissioner Earl?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to this, so I'm going to ask. When are the retirees given a one-time opportunity to be in or out? Is that the deal? They can't come back after the fact 10 years later or whatever and say, you know, I choose now to be in your retirement plan.
They have to make that election upon retirement.
Upon retirement, okay. That was, I just, so we know what we're dealing with. It's not like somebody's coming back to us later and saying, I used to work there or I retired from there, but I want back in now.
Right.
Got it. Okay, thank you. That's all.
Yeah, I think I like this plan. You know, when you talk amongst your friends, you know, and you talk about insurance and coverage and that, there's really no plan that covers everybody's needs. So while some people may say, oh, it covered my hospital, well, it doesn't cover my drugs, now you have options. And it's nicer that not only do you have an option that is more personalized, but also could be cheaper in the long run, both for the employee and for the village in the long run. So I think it's a good plan. No matter what we do, it's going to be expensive, and the state has rules and regulations that we have to follow. But I think this is a big step in the right direction.
Thanks, Bill. Greg?
Thanks, Mayor. I agree wholeheartedly with what Commissioner Waldeck just said. This is absolutely the right way to go. And I say that as somebody who provides legal counsel to funds exactly like this in the private sector, collectively bargained, self-funded health insurance programs. Setting aside money, allowing it to grow, and reducing our costs by doing so in the long run makes perfect sense. So, my thanks to staff.
Thank you.
I agree.
I'm going to say less than that. Other questions or comments?
You already said more than I did.
Procedurally. Start counting. Substantively, I've said nothing. Procedurally.
Thank you to staff for coming up with a plan. No way to attack it. Appreciate it.
Questions from the members of the public? Please.
Is there on our bonds that we issue for the debt, is there a repricing on those if we're downgraded?
No.
No?
I mean, they're traded out in the market, so whatever happens to them in the market, there's no impact to us.
So they can't reprice them? Okay. And then that report was pretty big that you put out there this afternoon from, what is it?
About a
May
month.
31st, I think?
Yeah.
At the actuarial report?
Yeah, sorry.
What, there was a line item in there for dependents and spouses. Are those for the retirees that are deceased?
PSEBA, a lot of that is PSEBA benefits.
Okay, PSEBA, sounds like PSEBA benefits, Public
Safety Employee Benefits Act.
Benefit Act. These are spouses of deceased former public safety professionals who retired on a disability under the law.
So they're deceased and they were disabled on the job?
Not deceased, just disabled on the job.
Just, we don't have any deceased.
We don't have any deceased.
Would they fit into that category though?
They could be.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's governed by state law.
And then the amount that you can charge for the retirees, is it limited by a certain percentage per year? Or what's kind of the metrics on that?
I think the general concept is you can't treat the retirees different than your own employees.
Another law.
That's the essence of this law, Tom,
Right.
where they start talking about what we have to do, you have to treat them the same.
And we're limited with the active employees by their collective bargaining agreements?
Actually, not necessarily. It's really been more of all village staff-wide approach to the provision of health benefits, not just union or non-union folks.
Okay, that's it, thanks.
If you have questions on that whole report, you can call Judy later.
It's a little hard to read on my phone. What is it, a month old?
Yeah.
Pull that one up on a bigger screen. Other questions or comments? Any other questions or comments from the council?
So what we're doing tonight is...
Now you've said more than me.
Okay. No problem. I'll buy you a beer.
Okay.
What we're doing tonight is directing staff to create a document that we will subsequently adopt.
Yes,
So you're getting our sense that we're pretty much in agreement with the general direction.
that's correct. And so what a great segue into the next steps.
We're picking up what you're putting down.
Yes, exactly. So in August or September, before the FY19 budget comes out, we will package up the product of these three discussions and call it the update to the long-range plan, and we'll put it on an agenda for council review and approval. After that, it will drive decisions for FY19 budget and beyond for this council.
From September through like May,
Yes,
June.
exactly, and probably will have long-lasting direction, as an example.
Okay, good.
It's a sensible approach.
Thank you. That's all we have tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
We're looking down the road.
I heard one guy on the business report today say recession in 2020.
I heard guys say a lot of things.
Thank you.
Don't make me get out my challenge coin. That inside joke. All right, very good. Well, I appreciate the presentation. Thank you for everyone's careful reading the materials and input and direction. We'll see more of this later, as the village manager indicated. With that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Sure. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. See you next time.